StarCast is proudly sponsored by DoghouseSystems.com. If you use the code StarCast or Biscuit at checkout, you will get double memory on your next Doghouse system. We thank DoghouseSystems.com for their support of StarCast. Additional support comes from SC2QuoteOfTheDay.com. Daily quotes from the StarCraft 2 community. The site may suck, but the quotes are sick. And also Destiny's YouTube channel at youtube.com/RememberTomorrow0. It's a channel dedicated to highlights from popular StarCraft 2 streamers such as Destiny, Minigun, Cats, and Dragon. Videos range from funny, entertaining clips, coaching sessions with students of all leagues, and pro players doing replay analysis. Once again, that's youtube.com/RememberTomorrow0. And also, listener Discarax supported today's episode. We love you, man. Thanks for the support. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 103 of StarCast.
Yeah, it's about damn time for StarCast.
Incoming transmission.
Biscuit.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 103 of StarCast, your community StarCraft 2 podcast. I am your host, Garrett Weinzerl, and with me, as always, is Kyle. Kyle, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing very well. As far as StarCraft goes, I just tuned in, or back in today. Been enjoying some Diablo 3 action, of course. And
what are you talking about? I haven't heard of this game.
Yeah.
I missed it. I missed it entirely.
Yeah, this little
Who
thing.
made it?
Well, some company, North? Blizzard North?
Dude, does anyone actually call them that anymore?
Start with the claymation?
Yeah. Gotcha. Oh, all right. No, that's good. That's good.
No, but what a day it was to tune back into StarCraft, because Code A has been bumping some awesome games in there. You're wondering, where's all the Zergs in our Code S? They're all in Code A, being awesome.
They're all in Code A, ruining my favorite player's day. So, anyways, we have a guest today. I guess we should go ahead and introduce her. Joining us for the first time today is the founder of the Girls of StarCraft, Lori Tesla Slaughter. How are you doing, Tesla?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. How are you gentlemen today?
I'm good. I'm getting like withdrawal symptoms from Diablo because I took launch day off, and I miraculously did not have any issues with Era 37, so I got to play all day. But since then, I have a full-time job, so I've been at work, and I'm like, oh, I just got to go back and play my Barbarian, man.
I have to say, I am so jealous. I had to wait till 10 a.m. when GameStop opened in order to get my copy of Diablo 3. However,
that's rough.
Since I participated in the beta, I was able to download and get it all set up.
Oh, well, that's not so bad then.
No, it's not so bad then, because I came home, put in the code, I was like, yes!
Ready to rock.
And then server goes down. Oh,
that's no good. You have the Era 37?
I was getting disconnected, I couldn't get into character creation, and I ended up helping everybody else in the house set up their game before mine.
That sucks. Oh my god.
Just like the breathing mask on the airline.
Yeah, well, Kyle, you and I, we streamed launch day, and we had a pretty smooth day. You were the only one of the three of us that got disconnected, and it only lasted about 20 minutes.
I was also the only one of us that stayed up for the midnight or 2 a.m. where I am, and sadly that didn't work out. So, kind of disappointing. It's more sad that so many people got as upset as they did, and then of course there became this whole war as who bought Max Payne 3, who's playing right now, single player, LAN support. Like, it was just a mess, frankly, and I've been through so many incarnations of BattleNet at this point that I'm like, it's a free service. I don't really get it. I don't really get the hate that's going on. Granted, when you buy something, it should work, but I didn't find it all too upsetting. And last night there was a 15-minute down point, and that was it. It was all good. So
I'll tell you right now why you don't understand it. Because you are a rational human being that does not use official forums of video games.
Well, it's an interesting era we live in, because luckily I have those forums. I have streamers. Like, when we were all confused and wondering what's wrong with our copy of Diablo 3, there were plenty of places to go check it out. In fact, there are many embarrassing places to check it out, like, all-night BJ Wheat and Husky streams, where they were stuck talking about nothing in particular.
Oh, probably my favorite was Giant Bombs because they ended up just streaming Diablo 2 because they couldn't stream Diablo 3.
That's sad.
Yeah. So, God, yeah. No, that was funny. Anyways, so Tesla, we're here. You know, it's your first time on the show, so I guess the best thing to do is, you know, get to know you and let our community get to know you. So you are the founder of Girls of StarCraft, correct?
I'm actually one of the founders. I'm currently the acting CEO. That's correct.
All right. Nice. So I guess for lack of a more creative way to ask this, how did it all start?
Girls of StarCraft was started by a friend and myself. What ended up happening is we ended up having to deal with a lot, being females in the community. The sexist comments, the pics or GTFO, things like that. And we wanted somewhere where we felt more comfortable. You know, a community kind of that would help support one another and understand each other, that sort of thing. So what ended up happening is we decided to go ahead and make our own group. Never had my friend and I foreseen that it would be as big as it was, or that so many girls would say, you know, thank you, I thought I was the only girl on the server. Because you end up feeling that way. You could end up going into any one of the servers and thinking, my goodness, I think I only know of 10 females who are actually actively playing. Because that's the way it appears. But really, Girls of StarCraft has over 400 members.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Well, all right. Well, take that, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Everyone is like, oh, Girls of StarCraft. Yeah, that's.
I know, it's
that's an
deceiving.
number.
It's truly deceiving. Actually, we have 418 as of currently.
So when did you guys start?
June 5th.
Or should I say you girls, I guess? Yeah.
We actually started
Okay.
the Girls of StarCraft on June 5th last year. So we're still not even a year old.
Not even a year
Wow.
old and over 400 members strong. That's impressive. That's
Well,
nice.
the ladies are wonderful. They truly are. They're amazing individuals. They're very caring. They care a lot about esports and StarCraft. And, you know, I'm really glad that we have a place where we can support one another, feel welcomed, and encourage others to go ahead and play competitive and play against the guys, not just the girls.
Oh yes, I'm sure the majority of that 400 could probably hand me my own butt. So that being said, yeah, and the very few members of the community we have had the chance to meet have been fantastic. I mean, we've had Live in Pink and Brightside on quite a few times now, and they're always a blast.
They are both wonderful individuals. Brightside, she has been kind of my right hand in this for a very long time now. Such a wonderful lady. And Live in Pink, I've seen her go into casting when she wasn't that well known as a caster and just absolutely blossom into that role.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for her and I'm very happy for her. It's a great thing to see.
Yeah. Now we took some questions from our own forums and from Team Liquid, and on Team Liquid, DeFreak asked, "So is your last name really Slaughter? Because if that's the case, it's badass."
Yes, I've actually been asked that quite a few times. My last name
sure.
is actually Slaughter. And before anyone asks, yes, I am related to Sergeant Slaughter, the wrestler.
Really?
Yes, he's a cousin.
That's a really fun fact. That's awesome.
Oh my goodness, he actually dressed up as a sergeant. I can't say
Until
I'm a
Kyle didn't watch
WWF
wrestling.
fan. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. You know, the person to ask would actually be my girlfriend. She used to be a huge wrestling fan, but she is not here at the moment. I don't know what to tell you there, Kyle. Man, if my last name was Slaughter, that would probably be my handle. 'Cause it's such a
Actually,
good last name.
I thought about using it as a handle, but it was back when I wanted to go and work in law before I got into broadcasting. So
All right.
eventually I wanted to be Judge Slaughter and rule over a criminal justice case.
I think that's
So it would be all rise for the Honorable Judge Slaughter now presiding.
That would be the most horrifying thing. If I was in there for like a speeding ticket, I'd be peeing my pants. Like, oh man, I'm done. This is over. There's no point anymore.
You need a chainsaw instead of a gavel and just saw the table in half.
Order!
Yeah, no, have a guillotine. Have a guillotine there.
Oh, that works. Bring back the gallows. Just why stop there? So at the top, God, oh man, at the top of the show, we were talking Diablo, and I have to ask because I now you have a history with a lot of games besides just StarCraft. Like when I heard you were coming on, I was like, okay, I'm not the most familiar with Tesla. I'll go look her up on the Wikipedia, as if my grandparents even knew what that was. That's how they'd say it. And and you have a character named after you in Guild Wars?
Yes, she's an NPC.
Oh, that is awesome because that was my first MMO. So
really? Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, that is the Tesla NPC, and she is the Zaishan Copper person for the Z coins, the Zaishan coins, and she is located in Great Temple of Balthazar or Embark Beach.
Nice.
And what's really cool about her is they added her during the 4th year anniversary of Guild Wars, and my friend was talking to me, she's like, I know something you don't know. And when I first saw it, I actually sat there staring at it for 30 minutes, speechless, because I got message and they're like, oh my God, congratulations, Tesla. I was getting spammed with messages. People are like, it looks like your graduation picture, and she's got the Asian look, which is something I was into, and she's got 2 of my favorite colors, red and purple.
Oh, that's
so
great.
They really did their research when making her. I'm just like so thankful that ArenaNet decided to do that.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
Kyle, if you could be immortalized in a video game, what game would it be, and what would you be in the game?
Oh, jeez. That's tough. Oh, man. You can't just spring that on someone. Like, what would be the most awesome thing ever? I don't know.
I know what you'd probably want. You'd want a StarCraft unit named after you.
Okay, well...
that would be pretty awesome. The Ferguson. What would the Ferguson even be?
The Fergaling? The Fergalisk?
Well, it depends. What race do you play?
Well, I play Zerg, so it has to be some sort of...
then it would have to be something that a Zergling could morph into. Not a Baneling, but something new. Well,
technically, my Sir coat of arms for being Scottish is a bumblebee. So I guess Baneling bumblebees? Flying Banelings.
Exploding bees. Exploding in the air. Ooh,
kamikaze bees?
That would be, that'd be horrifying.
Right?
Yeah. What would I do? Ooh. In StarCraft, I have no idea. But if it was in an MMO, I would definitely be a blood elf working at the barbershop in WoW, because all my friends make fun of me because I get different haircuts like every month. Oh, man. So I would go with that. The point I was getting on was, you're obviously a gamer, not just a StarCraft fan. So how has Diablo 3 affected your StarCraft play? Because it's completely destroyed any semblance of me moving up in the ladder at the current moment.
As for StarCraft right now, I'll remember it on Saturday.
Gotcha.
Right now, I am absorbed in that game. It has not only affected my StarCraft play or anything I do in StarCraft, but it has affected my sleeping schedule. It was bad enough as it was, but it's completely out the window now.
Yeah. I usually go to bed at a decent hour because I work at 9 in the morning, but it's been like 1 a.m. at the earliest this week. So
gotta love that.
Yeah.
The worst part about having a good game is that when you wake up and it's like 8 o'clock, and normally you'd be, depending on what time you have to work. It's about 2 hours before you normally have to get up, but for some reason you wake up and the idea of that game hits you in the head, and you start laying in bed and you're looking at your phone because no one has alarm clocks anymore, and you're going, oh man, I could totally squeeze in a few hours if I get up now, and you're just sitting there debating.
Keep sleeping, get up, play Diablo, keep sleeping. I'm not sure. Diablo, then shower. Maybe skip shower. I don't smell that bad.
It's like, how can I save time in my morning routine to go ahead and sneak in some gameplay before work?
Yep. Or since I have a pretty beefy computer at work, can I download it while no one's looking and play it during lunch and not get yelled at for putting in programs on the computer that I shouldn't have? I have not done that yet, in case my boss is listening. I promise.
If you do that, your boss might kick you off and say, let me play.
That is very true. Not my boss. No, would not happen. Not a concern of mine. So what are you playing in Diablo, out of curiosity?
I'm playing a wizard.
Oh, really? What level are you?
I am a level 32, almost 33.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you damn near beaten the game once on normal, I'm assuming. What act are you in?
No, I'm on Act 4 at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well, that is the final act.
And helping friends and family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what's been happening to me with the first act, though, because I go, come on, first act, yeah, solo play. Okay, another group of friends, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been having the same problem with, too. Does the wizard get more interesting to play? Because I got one up to, 9, and I'm just bored to tears with it.
Actually, I say it is, but I love that kind of play style. Okay. I love things like that. There's one skill called Archon, and I didn't get that to level 29 or 30. And what happens is you turn into a spirit of energy that looks kind of like the stars, kind of like a galaxy sort of does. And you spit out this laser. You just shoot it. It doesn't cost any mana or arcane magic, I think is what it's called. So it doesn't cost anything except for the mana to start the original spell. And then you've got 2 spells you can use, which is that laser and then an AoE, which kind of knocks them back and deals a bit of damage.
Oh, that does sound awesome.
That is actually very, very strong. I've walked into 2 or 3 mobs, and one of them having a boss in them, a gold boss, and just killed them all.
Oh, wow.
Single-handedly.
See, you quit right at the wrong time, Garrett, because you said you quit at level 9 here. Exploding bolts is when it gets good, when your normal sort of shock pulse goes out and then explodes when guys die. And from there, it's just... And you got Spectral Blade coming up and Arcane Torrent, which is just... I
got Spectral Blade, and I hate it.
I hate it, too. Actually, what skills I use for my wizard right now is Electrocute, Disintegrate, Diamond Skin, Wave of Force, Storm Armor, and Archon.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't like any of the short range spells, Kyle. Whatever the lightning one on the ground is too bothers me. So I've just been using Magic Missile or whatever it's called.
Oh, you should use the lightning one. It gets better as you go on.
Oh, does it? Okay. All right, I'll give it a shot. It was a mixed bag, Kyle, why I gave up, and I was bored with it. And the people I was playing with caught up to my barbarian. So I was like, you know what? I'm switching characters.
You know what? How about this? One of these days, we'll walk in the game, and I'll help you with it, or we'll go play.
Okay, well, that sounds good. I think Kyle and I will definitely be on after the show tonight. I may be playing while we talk. I'm kidding. I would not do that.
I might.
Well, that's okay. You're a guest. You're allowed to. But somebody has to keep the show going. So getting back into StarCraft, getting back into to the girls of StarCraft. The next big event for us, at least for North America, is MLG Anaheim. Any big plans for GOSC?
For MLG Anaheim, at this moment, what we're going to be doing is we will be doing some interviews, and we're going to have those up on our YouTube. We're trying to make sure we're more involved in the community, doing more to support the community. So besides making a presence there and, telling people about who we are, what we do, that sort of thing, nothing absolutely big, but we do have our first year anniversary coming up, and we have big plans for that.
Oh, all right. Anything you can divulge, or is it all are you announcing an announcement?
Well, let's see here. We're going to have some tournaments. We're going to have a girls-only tournament and a large community tournament to encourage both male and females to come play. With this community tournament, we hope to show people that we are not strictly here to only support the girls. While that is our primary concern, we are also here to support the community. And it'll be our first community tournament.
Okay. On the note, are there any guys involved with Girls of StarCraft, or is it all girl exclusive?
Actually, there is. We have expanded into having our staff, which our staff can be separate from the actual group members, and we have exactly one person who is on staff who is not a member, and his name, he goes by Opie. I think that's how you say it. His name is actually Jason. He ends up handling our website, that sort of thing for us.
Oh, all right. That's cool.
He's really good at it. He's been very supportive. He's just been a pleasure to work with and a great addition because he's helping us go and expand Girls of StarCraft.
Oh, great. Well, very cool. So, well, you go, Opie. So, you just teased at what you're going to be doing for the 1 year, but are there any other future plans for the Girls of StarCraft? I mean, we're talking like big picture here. If costs really weren't an issue, if you could kind of have it your way and just
if I could do what I wanted to do with Girls of StarCraft, first off, we've been on the right road. There's no question about that. There's no way we were on the wrong road, because if we were, we wouldn't be here talking today.
Sure.
What I'd like to see happen is I would like to see the group continue to grow. I would like to see us get bigger, get more involved in the community. We're going to try and actually become more involved in the community, such as hosting community tournaments, show matches, obviously commentaries from our own ladies, as well as interviews on the YouTube, and possibly giveaways through our Facebook, that sort of thing. So, big picture sort of thing, we are kind of transitioning into an organization that not only supports the girls and gives them a safe environment to come into, get used to the game, learn, have the support they need, but encourage them to go play with the guys. But then we're going to continue to support the community as a whole. One of the things that we want to do, or that I would like to see us do, and this is something we've started doing, is we're expanding into other games now. We've had such a positive feedback and response from the community, from our own ladies, of just how great the group is. So we've expanded into a group for League of Legends. We've got a Girls of League of Legends and a Girls of Diablo 3.
Yes. Little into it right now, just a little bit.
Just a little. So we're really excited about that, and I'd like to see us continue doing what we are doing, helping promote those ladies, helping them get on a team if they want to do that, if they're a caster, helping them get those opportunities that they may have a harder time getting on their own.
All right. And now I'm laughing because apparently in our chat room, there's a drinking game going on that whenever any of us mentions Diablo 3, they take a drink. So
well, it's mentioned Diablo 3.
Oh, did I just mention Diablo 3? Okay, well now it's my job to kill you guys. Every one of you that's...
Diablo 3.
But why? Why should I stop mentioning Diablo 3? Guys, you should take a half shot anytime we mention Era 37. I'm adding rules. So. You're welcome, Jae Young. Or Jae Young, because I know how much you love it when I mispronounce your name.
Jae Young, that's awesome. Go ahead and take a nice big drink, because it's all about Diablo 3. No, anyhow.
we should just carry you over into our other show that we'll be doing this weekend, This Week in Blizz, which is all going to be Diablo themed this
oh my goodness.
Next episode. So.
Well, I have joining.
We got another question from the community. Tossaway asked, why do you think that there are so few pro female players in StarCraft 2?
That's a question I've actually been asked quite a few times, and it's one I've had to sit there and think on. One thing I've noticed between those who play the game casually, both male and female, versus those who are considered pros, is the amount of time and dedication they put into it. Okay, first off, guys beat us there. Guys beat us in the fact that they can take more abuse from dealing with, and now this is not to say all females are like this, but this is something I've noticed in a majority, is that when they're on a bad streak, they get upset, they get discouraged. So instead of continuing at it like a male player may do, they'll walk away or go do something else or go play team games. Some are also afraid to ladder, just do 1v1s. This is a ladder anxiety that quite a few ladies actually face. So this could be another leading cause to why there aren't many female pros at the moment. I think there are more there, and maybe they just haven't shown their skill yet, and they're kind of scared. But as time goes on, they're saying it's okay to be a female player. It is okay to go ahead and come out and let people know, yes, I am here. Who cares about my gender? I'm going to kick your butt.
Oh, Garrett, I think you're quiet, or well, muted, or whatever's going on.
I totally, I was trying to be polite and not cough into the mic, and this is what I get. I'll just be rude from now on. So, are there any rising female players that you've noticed that maybe the mainstream hasn't quite caught on to that you think is really going to make it big?
Oh my goodness, that's kind of hard. I mean, we'd have to watch the next Iron Lady. I encourage everyone to watch the Iron Lady because that's where Madalis got her start. That's where we've seen people like Flo come from. That's where, a lot of these ladies have come and shown themselves. Scarlett participated in it. There are quite a few ladies that have done really, really well, and they're getting up there. But it's going to take time, and as for any particular one that sticks in my mind that is actually coming up, not off the top of my head, which is why I simply suggest that everybody goes and supports them all.
All right.
So this is a, kind of one of those big picture questions that's going to be the elephant in the room whenever there's a female gamer around. Why is there this divide between male and female gamers? And why does it seem more acceptable in at least American society for the little boy to stay upstairs playing video games all day, and the little girl has to be doing something else, not watching TV? What do you feel like has made the girls of StarCraft have to be available so these girls can feel comfortable?
Actually, you'd be surprised. That's not something strictly to America. It's called sexism. It's not... There are different forms of sexism. There are the extreme sexist who sit there and say, oh, you're a woman, get in the kitchen. That's where you belong. But the sexism like that is something that it's a subconscious thing that we end up growing into our whole lives without thinking about it. We're used to the guys can kind of do whatever they want, the women have to do their role. And they've had to fight for their freedoms, so on and so forth. And it's been an ongoing thing. And sadly, no matter how far we go, it'll never be completely gone. And there are some who never want it gone. Because yes, they may want special treatment in one area, but want to be treated as an equal in the other. Sorry, you can't really have your cake and enjoy it at the same time.
Right.
Not while it's baking in the oven, at least. But
that analogy works well, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does.
Anyhow, so it's a subconscious sort of thing. We expect, not all of these women to be playing these video games. We see it go ahead and target the male gamers, and it's a male market, and there's actually a lot of females who are in it, but our society hasn't accepted it. And I'm not exactly sure why.
Yeah.
And it's awkward. But that's why we've created the Girls of StarCraft. It's because it's needed to help bring support. Like, for instance, if you're in North America, you may want a group that's just for North America players, so it's easier for you to find someone. So you can hang out, have a tournament. I mean, it's not that you're trying to separate North America from the other places in the world, but that's something to support North America and help it grow. Kind of like our economy. You would use it, do something in the economy, help it grow, and it helps everyone in the long run. Same with Girls of StarCraft.
All right.
Sure. That makes perfect sense.
Another good analogy. Yeah.
I seem to be full of those today.
Yeah, you are. Just like the analogy queen right here. Discrex from our forums asked, and he has actually quite a few. I think the next few questions are from him. But he asked, what are the biggest advantages to having a female-only group and community? And on the flip side, what are some of the disadvantages?
Okay. Some of the advantages we can sit there and we can talk about boy problems or, well, in some cases, girl problems, because, you know, everybody has their own sexual preference. We can rant to one another. If we want to talk about a cute dress we got, we can do that. That's an advantage. Let's face it, guys don't really want to hear about that most of the time. You just want to hear about what just happened in the game.
Unless it's that awesome dress that looks like an NES controller, we're probably not going to be that interested.
That's also true. You know, but a disadvantage is that a lot of people see us as being sexist in our own way. That we're trying to create a further separation between the guys and the girls, which is not the case. And I think many people misunderstand it. Yes, we have the group there. Yes, the separation has been there. But our reasoning for the separation is to help build up the females involved in the community, give them a place where they feel welcomed, just like any Polish community, any English-speaking community, so on and so forth. It's not any different. We just have our own different requirement. Ours is by gender. And I use gender because gender is how you identify yourself, not what you were born as. So
right.
We have to deal with that sort of thing. We actually have a few ladies who are in the group who, while they support the group and the efforts of the group, they do not support female-only tournaments because they feel that's kind of sexist because we're excluding the guys. So that's a disadvantage. One of the advantages, another advantage would be, you know, we can just say random stuff, not care what people think, because we're all females. We all kind of know what we're going to expect in here. It would be like a guy's night out. You guys are talking and, you know, whatever goes, goes.
Yeah. That's good. It's funny you bring that up, that, you know, people, the negative that people say, oh, well, it's an all-girl group, so you're in your own right being sexist. And and I agree with you. I mean, I would point anyone who has that belief to any of the shows that Brightside or Lemon Pink was on, you know, on our show, because you want to talk about, they're so ready, they're just as willing as everyone else to get into the regular tournaments and kick ass on an equal level regardless of gender.
Yeah. Well, it's been something interesting because at the start, when female tournaments started coming into the community, at least for StarCraft 2, there were still a lot of people like, oh, why do we need a females-only tournament? And now people are saying we need a females-only league. Well, Girls of StarCraft may end up doing that. Simply because we've got access to those female players, we can say, hey, let's go and play. Let's show the guys what we can do.
Now, is that something that, you know, helps raise awareness, of course, and, you know, gets more girls playing? But do you feel there needs to be an actual divide in, not ladder, but tournaments? Is there so many mental differences or physical, maybe finger size or something, that affects women that there needs to be a whole nother league for them?
Let me ask you, do you feel there's a reason for North American tournaments? Or Asian tournaments? Or European tournaments?
Yes.
Just
there's
for fun,
a reason for the girls-only tournaments then. Same difference. Many people don't understand that because the female-only tournaments aren't sitting there to separate them. They're to encourage other females, say, oh, look, or if a guy has like a girlfriend, and let's face it, I've heard this case a lot of time. Guy's got a girlfriend, she doesn't really play StarCraft, he wants her to get into it. How does he do it? Female tournaments.
Yep, I agree. So one of Disc's follow-up questions was, you know, as a successful StarCraft 2 community, what are your plans to, you know, toward building your brand? Are there any plans to eventually become a solvent business entity within esports?
Yes, we want to become an organization like I was talking about earlier, and we are not going to just do StarCraft. We are expanding into girls-only groups into every single game, because currently, no matter what game you go to for the most part, unless it's kind of an MMORPG, and even then, it's still kind of it depends on the situation or the game. But the female community gets abused a lot. Not only are they abused, they end up having to deal with a lot of crap. They feel excluded or out of place. So we want to give support to those ladies. We want to show them, hey, look, you are not alone. We're here to support you. We want you to keep playing the game. We want you to go play with the guys. But at the same time, if something happens, if you feel you need to break down and cry and talk to another girl, we're not going to make fun of you. We'll be here for a shoulder for you to lean on, and we'll listen.
I think I need a sensitive man's club. Because I could go for all these things. And all the Hellions were in my base, and I just couldn't take it, guys. I got the cutest dress today. No, I'm...
Okay, now, I did see one comment in chat, and may I address that?
Yeah, go for it.
That's why we have a chat room.
Prey Monkey, you're right. That's not to say that all female gamers are innocent. It's not to say any party is innocent. But at the same time, there are a lot of females who get abused for nothing more than being female. They could be nothing more than the nice gamer, or heck, they could even rage a little bit. Like, oh my god, I just died, and it's all your fault, and roar. Who knows, okay? They could rage a little bit. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they deserve the abuse. Now, does that mean they should be going ahead and abusing another member in the community? No. I don't agree with that. I believe that, you really should treat others as you'd like to be treated. And that's one thing we've tried to promote in Girls of StarCraft.
That sounds very similar to the same reasons we started our forum and our clan with StarCast, was trying to give a place for the very casual kind of everyman who wasn't, Master League, and where people could ask what are considered dumb questions on Team Liquid and stuff like that.
Okay. Octane, what did Julia do for the female gaming community when her match was put on the main stage at MLG Providence? Yes, she was the first female gamer on a main stage ever. She actually faced, this starts with now. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, crap. Who was it? Violet?
He was a gentleman. I remember that.
No. Losair. Yeah, it was Losair. Okay. It was Losair. She faced Losair, main stage, MLG. She ended up losing, but she was always very active in Girls of StarCraft, or at least as active as she could be. She would try and ask others to come play. I believe she also streamed quite a bit. Very nice lady. Very nice. And honestly, what ended up happening, when she took that main stage, every female felt inspired in the group to go play. Even I did.
Yeah.
I went in and practiced harder. Just seeing another female up there, just hearing how much people enjoyed it. And because of her, MLG actually wrote a whole thing about, how she took main stage. She's one of the first females to do so, and how she was a member of Girls of StarCraft. And they actually listed our Facebook and all, and mentioned 3 of our prominent figures. One of them being Kelly Melky's, Megumi Expert, and I was the 3rd. So, it's really inspiring. It's really something else. It's like when you guys see your favorite player up on stage, and you just kind of get inspired by watching their play, by just watching them go and give it their best, give it their all, and then want to go ahead and try and do that yourself.
Yeah, no, I remember sitting by some females during those games, and they actually signed up for your website on the spot and inspired to, well, I can do better than that. Again, that spirit of competitiveness kind of coming out and making people want to join it.
Exactly, and it gives them a place to practice. It gives them a place where they feel at home. Basically,
someone in the... Oh, sorry.
We keep interrupting each other. I'm going to shut up and you talk.
I was trying to harken back. Someone in the chat room earlier, it's too far back now, said, well, no one complains about all women gyms, so what's the difference? And I think that's a really good way to put it as well.
Darn good question. I'd love to know.
Yep. So, I'm with you.
That's great to know.
It is it's a strange weighted topic. I mean, we talked about this with MLG Clutch a while, and he said a lot of the stigmas come from high school and guys just being too nerdy. And still, nerdy guys are really nervous to approach females, and particularly you want to you see this girl, she's playing StarCraft, great, and you want to spill everything. You're like, oh my God, you play StarCraft, you're the best thing ever. But you got to be cautious. Like, you're going to get your heart broken. Well, she's really not into it. What if someone gave her that shirt? Like, these are the things that's running through her head. So, in your opinion, you said there's a lot of girls taking abuse. Is it blind abuse a lot of time? Like, making some comment about mothers, or you play like a girl, or, anything more profane than that? Or is it actual, like, targeted abuse where the girls are saying, you shouldn't be so mean, I'm a girl, and then they become, more infuriated?
Well, it depends. If it's on ladder and that person's not known, they haven't sat there and said, oh, I'm a female player, or it hasn't come out, their typing doesn't give it away, because apparently my typing gives away that I'm a female. Then what will happen... Ow. Yeah, I don't know how. Maybe it's because I use punctuation and smiley faces and things like that. I guess that's it. That's what I've been told.
Smiley faces are the only way to communicate your point online.
I know.
Like the cute
That's when
face,
you then post a troll face and go, nope, I'm a figment of your imagination. No girls on the internet. Anyhow, but in that kind of case where they don't know what your gender is, it's blind abuse. And even the blind abuse can hurt. Okay?
Sure.
It's just one of those things that happens without people thinking about it. It's like people not saying please and thank you. It's one of those things where you don't say that, and some people will get offended because you're not being polite. It's actually very common nowadays, at least in America, to not say please and thank you like we used to. Little fact there for you.
I would point to bad parenting.
I would also point to our culture has accepted it, which is wrong.
It's a sense of entitlement that is sweeping America.
The other type you were talking about, the targeted, yes. There have been quite a few targeted, and it can be pretty bad. It can be, they'll say, show us pics of the upper half of your body, or get out. Obviously not that polite.
Sure. That was eloquent.
Yeah, wow.
There have been comments of, oh, you want to suck my male anatomy?
Sure.
There's a lot of it. There's a lot of it, including get back in the kitchen, that sort of thing. And actually, one of the ways that some of us deal with it is we joke about it among ourselves and with others to try and make how much it hurts a little less. Because when you laugh about something, it doesn't hurt. When you make it into a joke, it's just like a passing breeze. It's there and it's gone. Yeah. So when people sit there and say, oh, you're a female, you should be in the kitchen. There was a while we were talking about we should get a shirt that says, GM, in the kitchen.
I see.
Nice. I would like to yell at those people because I really enjoy when my girlfriend makes me brownies or something, and they're ruining it by thinking she's being subservient.
Yeah, it's actually really ridiculous. I cook, I bake, I barbecue. I have no problem with going in the kitchen, cooking on all that. Heck, I'll sit here, I'll play a video game, and I'll be barbecuing at the same time, going back and forth. And exactly. I have no problem with that.
Why not?
But I am a gamer. It doesn't matter what gender I am. I am a gamer. There are two... I firmly believe there are two different types of females out there when it comes to the gaming community. And this may be taken wrong, and I'm so sorry if anyone gets offended by it.
I'm sure half the show could have been already.
Oops. There are the girl gamers, which are girls first and want to be recognized for gaming and get the attention for that, which, let's face it, we've all met some of those. Sure. And then there are the gamer girls. They're gamer first, their gender matters later. It's an afterthought. They let their gaming do the talking for them. Girls of StarCraft contains gamer girls, not girl gamers.
I can recall two girl gamers from my past, and if they were listening, they probably would know who they were, that annoyed the heck out of me because they were totally the people who wanted attention because they were girls who played video games, but they could back it up also, which just boggled my mind.
Well, just because they do, the problem is when you have people like that, it furthers the kind of aggression between the two genders.
Right.
Because people get so upset about it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, in my case, it's always been horrible defeat or those mind games you play. I mean, I've always overthought, ACT questions, let alone relationships.
My best suggestion, because I overthink stuff myself at times, go with your gut instinct. Don't question yourself. Your gut oftentimes is right.
So Laura, you work at Curse, correct?
That's correct.
So I have to ask you, a few questions, and we got a few questions about you working there. You're a wiki manager?
That's correct.
Okay, so what exactly does your job entail?
Not taking a sip of my Mountain Dew right now. Okay, what my job entails is we have over 40 plus wikis for games. We have everything from our Diablo wiki, which covers the whole Diablo universe, to Minecraft, to Reckoning, and all those other good games. When we get a new wiki, the wiki team, which is composed of about 5 members who manage all of it. And that's a lot. A lot of wikis to manage for 5 people.
Yeah.
But what we end up doing is when we get a new wiki, we end up doing the CSS coding for it, the background, the layout, all of that good design. We also, generally, the wiki team, 9 out of 10 times, ends up making the logo that goes up at the top that says, whatever wiki it is. So if it's the Minecraft wiki, it'll say Minecraft wiki, and that'll be in the upper left-hand corner of your wiki. We also build the templates. Have you ever gone onto a wiki page and added a new page?
Yeah, I actually have not.
To make it easier.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You've ever wikied yourself, Garrett?
Wikied myself?
Yeah, and then found that there's no page for you, and you go, I'll take care of this.
No, I have not, because that sounds quite masturbatory, sir.
Anyhow, so we end up actually building all of these templates. That way users who go in and make the pages only have to fill in this information. So we may end up writing 30 lines of wiki coding, and it could result to 5 lines worth of what the user has to put in. That's it. 5 simple answers, and it has the rest done for them. It makes it look all nice and pretty on the new page. We also end up building content. We manage the users who are on there. We keep spam off because there's a lot of spam and vandalism that occurs in wikis.
Oh, sure.
I remember one case had over 100 accounts, one user. Over 100 accounts, one IP.
What game was he messing with?
I forget off the top of my... Oh, wait, nope. Star Wars. Star Wars Online.
Oh, the old one, Galaxies? Or the new one?
The Old
Okay.
Republic.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it was quite something else, because then you have to go in, check all the pages he edited, make sure the vandalism wasn't bad, fix it, and then you have to later go in and ban that IP to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Well, that sounds hard.
Like work, yeah.
Well, that is hard, but I also get the opportunity to go into games like Diablo 3 and get information and enjoy the game at the same time, because it's part of my job.
That is very cool. Now, do you work on... Does Curse have an on location, like an actual office?
We actually have 2 offices, I believe, 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
But our main one is in San Francisco.
Is that where you're located?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Colorado. I get to work remotely.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
Sweet. So is that like your full-time job, or do you have another job too?
Well, I do have a part-time job, which we talked about this earlier. I work for a lawyer part-time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then I've got all of my side projects, which you guys already know about, Girls of StarCraft and the sister groups I told you. Yeah. But I also am the CEO, executive assistant of Blade Radio, which is a radio station.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have a lot of credentials on your Wikipedia or Liquidpedia page.
yeah, Liquidpedia. Yeah, we looked at that. We were like, whoa! And then I was like, Guild Wars 2 character. That's awesome.
Actually, that's Guild Wars, not Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2.
Sorry. Yeah, that's not even out yet.
That's okay.
I have that on the brain as well. Back to Curse. Is there any, Curse hasn't really, they don't really have much content as far as StarCraft 2 is concerned. Is there any, do you know of any plans or movements for future StarCraft 2 content coming out of Curse? Because they literally do like almost everything else that's worth playing.
We do actually have a StarCraft 2 maps. We have place maps and such. But as for a Wikipedia for StarCraft, I believe we decided not to do that because of Liquipedia.
Gotcha.
But
I mean, I wouldn't compete against Liquipedia when they've already got it. You know, they've built it up. It's there. They're established.
Right. I mean, like any fan sites, like you guys do Diablo fans, correct? That's a cursed site.
That's correct.
Which is an amazing cursed site, by the way. All right, right now, since everyone is playing Diablo, yes, this is a StarCraft show. I'm going to get emails, but anyways, if you're playing Diablo and you need good information, go to Diablo fans. It's awesome. So yeah, I was just curious if they, had any maybe a StarCraft fan site in the works.
Well, currently, not that I'm aware of. That's
okay.
All I know of is our StarCraft maps. So
cool. So Discorex also wanted to know, just out of curiosity, in your opinion, who do you think is the best esports team, using whatever criteria you feel the need to evaluate them?
I'm going to be biased and say Dignitas for the win.
All right.
I think that's a good answer.
That's completely all right.
Well, being a member of Dignitas, I can say that.
Yeah. So, well, awesome. Well, we'll take some more questions for you, at the end of the show from the chat room. So, chat room, stick around. But we'll go ahead and there's been quite a bit of news, despite the fact that there's been another large game released this week. But there has been StarCraft news. The game goes on, despite other large releases this week. The biggest thing that's happened since the last time we spoke,
literally the night we recorded this last episode.
Yes. Doesn't that seem to happen with us all the time, Kyle? We finish an episode and then we get out. All right, time to play some StarCraft. Oh, hey, look, a giant news bomb. Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So last Thursday, the balance patch came through that they were testing on I think it was Antigua Shipyard.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally got the Protoss balance changes. The observer build time has been decreased 10 seconds from 40 to 30 seconds. And then the Zerg balance changes, which is the Overlord movement speed increase. And then the Queen anti-ground weapon attack range increase from 3 to 5, which everyone, at least at first, was kind of like, where did this come from? But now I've been hearing nothing but positive things, obviously, from the Zerg community. They're very happy about Queen versus Hellion now.
Yeah, it definitely... It threw the information in the right place. Like, everyone started thinking about it, and now Hellion's being kind of messed with, and at least in Code A this week, there wasn't too much of it. But, man, I mean, first we lost the Ultralisk head slam, and now the Queen's pokey poke arms are out. Like, I'm kind of upset.
Pokey poke arms?
Yeah, like the Queen has the, Queen of Blaine arms hanging out behind her, where she used to do a double attack, boom, boom, poke the guy. But now she's just shooting spines as though she does at air. She shoots spines at the ground now.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's a bummer.
Right. I know you're a lore nerd, so I will let you stand with that complaint.
It just looked nice.
So
if you're going to complain about things in regards to StarCraft, I want my lurkers back and my Scorch.
Yeah. Lori, that question for whatever reason didn't come up. What is your race of choice? Is it Zerg? I heard you cheer.
I am a Zerg player since StarCraft Brood War.
Gotcha. All right, that was
loyal to the Swarm.
Gotcha. You gave that away with your cheer over the anti-ground weapon attack range. So are you enjoying it? Have you had a chance to kind of sit down with it?
I actually have had the pleasure of being able to cast some really great games of it during the Zotac Cup last weekend.
Oh, okay, cool.
To see it. While I could walk in and I could see it, it's not going to be the same as watching someone else execute it and just watching the amazing counter-harassment they're doing with the Queen when they're trying to get harassed, when somebody else is trying to harass them, and just shutting it down and then dominating over the opposing race for that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at this. So, maybe I'm looking at the wrong one here, because this one I'm looking at for the Zotac Cup is showing basically about 60% Zerg all the way to the end, which was a ZVZ. So interesting for a tournament.
Yeah, especially when you've been watching GSL this week.
Actually, one thing that's interesting is the week before that, we had no Zergs at all.
Huh.
So, I mean, it fluctuates in which race is more prominent over the other.
Yeah, certainly. And GSL this season, we're having 3 Protoss in the end and no Zergs.
No.
Oh, no.
But luckily, Code A.
Yep.
Yeah, oh God, Code A. So Kyle, you're aware
Let's just jump ahead to that.
Yeah, you're aware of my love for Marine King, correct?
Yes. I have become aware of it.
I think we were punching each other at MLG Columbus. What the hell? What is going on with Marine King? So sad.
I couldn't tell you there.
On the positive side of all this, though, holy crap, what an awesome set between him and Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! You guys gotta keep an eye on him. Kyle, you said you hadn't had a chance to watch these yet?
No, I didn't make it all the way through because I was catching up on every other one. You know me. If there's no Zerg, I'm probably going to skip it. But there was so much Zerg in my Code A this week. So, and one of them being Dong Regu, followed by Boom Boom Prime, and, I mean, Symbol and just, Leenock down there too. Like, this was madness.
Yeah, definitely, it definitely was, man. So, I don't know what else to tell you besides watch this game, I guess, tomorrow before MLG starts, because I know you'll probably be watching that all weekend. So, but definitely squeeze it in, because it was a hell of a good match.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, have you done any GSLs you caught this week that you particularly enjoyed? Oh, she went for a drink.
Oh, we lost her. Oh, I see.
She said be right back, and go us for not reading that.
No problem.
Live shows.
We got it. There was also the debacle going on in the DRG versus, who was he up against? Let me find my button here. DRG was going up against Startail Virus, and his keyboard broke. But since it was his own keyboard, there was an interesting ruling where since it was his keyboard, it was his fault, so we had to push on. So there's a good 30 seconds where Virus couldn't spend anything, couldn't move any units. Everything was stuck because the shift key got stuck down or something. So all his units were running all over the place, just getting themselves killed. And it was his own fault. And then the ruling, he had to continue that game from where they hooked him up with a new keyboard.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, in real sports, you got people tripping. You got, I banged my knee against the counter and now I'm not going to do well in the game. So it's hard to say how much esports is divided by the technology. Granted, without a keyboard and a mouse, you wouldn't even be able to control a swarm because, you don't have a hive mind. You're not psychic. So without this technology, you couldn't do it anyway. So it's that weird sort of, the digital problems with making esports a sport.
Yeah, indeed. That sucks. I missed that entirely. So that's really interesting. What an odd ruling. So, are you staying up late tomorrow night for the finals?
I can catch it in the morning. Is it going to be shown at a decent time?
I think it's like 3 or 4 a.m. for us.
Yeah.
5 or something crazy for you.
Nope, Sunday morning finals.
All right. Fair enough. Lori, what about you? Do you generally stay up late for the GSL finals, or do you catch them after the fact?
It depends who's playing. If it's a player I really want to see, like a Zerg player, or someone that everybody's talking about, they're excited to see, and I kind of want to see that matchup, like Flash and Jaedong, or Flash and Bizu, those are matches you would never miss for the world. Doesn't matter what their races are. Just the epicness there is out of this world. So it depends. If it's someone I'm really all for, then yes. If not, I'll either be gaming or sleeping and then catch it later.
Now, so you just brought up Flash, and of course this is, the big cloud hovering in the background for StarCraft 2. Now, granted, Brood War for me was like build 2 Hydras on best map ever and see what can happen. And for Garrett, I'm sure it was even less. So can you kind of help for those of us who don't know? I understand Flash is a big deal, and that apparently he already got to Grandmaster in the first 2 weeks. Like, what is this Brood War tidal wave that's looming on the horizon?
Okay, so you want to know about those players, like who they are and why they're so well known. Is that it?
Yeah, like why is this so scary to everyone?
The reason it's so scary is the top 3 players of the community in Brood War were hands down Flash, Jaedong, and Bizu.
Yeah, all names we're hearing all the time now, but as StarCraft 2 players, we're like, who are these guys?
That's very true. And when it comes to that, you can actually go look it up or what have you, but they were very, very well known. Flash is a Terran player, or was in Brood War. He was considered the Terran king. Bizu was the Protoss. And Jaedong, his Muta Micro, would make you think you were in heaven. It was, oh my god, it was amazing. He ended up showing the world just how to do it and how to abuse it. And without intending it, Blizzard ended up giving that game a whole new dynamic by having the not best pathing for some of the units in Brood War, especially the mutas. So being able to clump all those mutas up together, you know, those 12 or those 11 mutas with the Overlord, and then go back in and forth, you could end up one-hitting or three-hitting certain units or buildings, what have you, depending upon your upgrades, depending upon what it is. And you could actually contain a Terran by it. It's just some amazing plays. These people were known to be the best of the best, without question. So I'm really excited to see some of the Brood War players come over, but at the same time, part of me is also kind of sad, because I found Brood War to be such an excellent and amazing game to play. Now, the graphics could have used some changes, but I liked the challenge. I liked the fact that, you know, you could only have 12 units per control group. You could not have more. You could only have one building per a hotkey. You couldn't have 3, 4, or have you. And the control it took in that game is so much more demanding in many ways than in StarCraft 2. Now, that's not to say that StarCraft 2 isn't demanding in its own ways over Brood War.
Sure.
Just, I feel that Brood War was more high-end and more demanding out of players. But Blizzard wanted to make it more even playing field for everyone, not just so that the Cranes would dominate over everyone.
I kind of appreciate that, I guess.
Yeah.
So do I. You and I both, trust me.
It's nice to be able to have an epic match without, well, you know, only 12 mutas coming in. Because that's what I did. Like, I drew the line. It was, you know, oh, I can't do that. I'll just make 12 of it and just go. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, okay, so I understand now. So it's, oh God, the only thing I can think of is a DBZ reference. It's like coming out of the gravity chamber. All these guys have been playing the harder version of our game. They're going to walk out and be better than everyone else.
Well, here's what I've been... Oh, let me put it this way. Anybody who played on a server like IC Cup in Brood War, if you were at least like level C, you could get to Grandmasters or Masters very easily, without question. These guys were the best in the world. They're now coming over to StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
What's in store for us? We're about to get our butts handed to us.
Not only that, but everyone who ever sat below them, that is now all their practice partners and everyone else.
Partners, whole 9 yards. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly what
Things
Sid was talking about last week when we had him on, that don't worry about Flash. Worry about his younger underlings who haven't gotten any light of day. They're ready to come out swinging.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. All of those people, they're getting older, whereas they've got their trainees, their partners, whoever, and they're going to be the prodigies coming up. So what people like the three of us can do is get a bag of popcorn and enjoy the show.
Yeah, because it's going to be a hell of a ride. They should start doing tournament trailers like movie trailers, man. Like,
they should.
Flash comes out of retirement to kick ass again. So.
By the way, you have an amazing voice for that. Just saying. I've been wanting to tell you that for a while now. So.
Hey, MLG, if you guys need some voice work done, I can hook you up.
The only voice work I can do is Pokemon imitations.
I read that on
League
your...
of Legends Tristana.
Dare I ask?
I heard you do a mean Pikachu.
Pikachu.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, even has that twang.
Yeah. I've been doing that since I was 10 years old. People ask me if I've practiced it. No.
Nope.
I just was able to do it. I don't know how to explain it. Just one of those things you imitated when you were younger. You thought it was adorable or cute or cool. And you found out you could do it, and everybody was just like, oh my god, that's so cool.
That's what the girls have over us, though, us guys, because I used to be able to do the meanest Velociraptor. The whole screech and scream and the run, but, man.
And then your balls dropped.
Yep. Well, it's more of an Adam's apple. But, you know. I guess,
or that. Okay. The less
in the
funny
grand
reason,
scheme of
fine.
things, I'm sure that had an affecting factor.
Yeah, well, Tesla, we'll have to have you back for April Fool's episode, and you can do the whole episode in your Pikachu voice, and I'll do it in my Meatwad voice, and we'll just see how many subscribers we can
give
lose.
Me a sample, please.
They're themselves.
That's awesome. I could do a Boxy impersonation if you prefer that one for April Fool's.
A what?
Boxy?
Boxy Brown?
Oh, Boxy Brown?
No, Boxy, the girl Boxy.
Oh, girl Boxy. Oh, man.
The female who's B-O-X-X-Y, she was known for wearing quite a bit of makeup, being a 14-year-old who was on YouTube talking about Boxy and Gaia and all of that.
Queen of 4chan.
Yes.
Yeah, now I remember.
You can actually impersonate her voice, too.
Oh, wow. Please don't. now I remember who she is. Feel free.
With pleasure. Like I said, if you want for April Fool's, though, I could do it for a short while before I get tired of it.
All right. For April Fool's, that'd be great to do a whole, cast the whole game in that. Just,
oh my god.
Make sure it's also a ridiculous game. Get like a 3v3 free-for-all, or I don't know, something. Just go nuts. Get a bunch of people doing it.
Just get some cheese going on and make all the Pocky references and everything.
Pocky is not that good, people. I don't get it.
Yes, it is. Pocky is amazing.
Oh, man.
Anyways, while we're swing back to the Brood War references and Brood War entering StarCraft 2 and all that stuff, the Pro League Season 2, all of that information has been released this week from SK Planet. So this is going to be the first Pro League that features StarCraft 2. So this is going to be quite exciting. And we've got a link to the whole breakdown in our show notes if you guys are interested or have, for whatever reason, missed this. I think this is old news by this point, but we haven't talked about it yet. So I believe it's starting it looks like May 20th. So that's Sunday, just in time for MLG to end and have something new to watch for you guys. So, I'm assuming, Tesla, you used to do also on your long resumes, you did some work with IC Cop as well, correct?
Yes, I did.
So are you're obviously a big Brood War fan. Are you kind of excited to see this Pro League shift, or are you sad because eventually there'll be no more Brood War?
I think end all be all, I'm both happy and I'm sad. I'm happy for the transition. I'm happy that esports has grown to where it has. I'm happy StarCraft has grown to where it has. I'm happy to see these players come back in to the main spotlight. To see these people come and say, hey, look, I'm back. to have that happen, it's amazing. It's going to add new plays, new strategies. We're going to see stuff we haven't seen yet, or haven't seen in a long time. We're going to see them experiment with builds and decide what they feel is good. I'm pretty sure. But at the same time, yes, I'm a little sad that there won't be any more Brood War. But I don't think Brood War will completely die down. I think Brood War will end up dying down to like where Diablo 2 servers have died down to, where they are just not very active.
It's not mainstream anymore. It's kind of this underground again. What was that?
Oh, I think that was her. I think we're having some issues with the connection, perhaps.
Oh, okay. That
sounds like she's really far away on a cell phone.
I thought I was hearing a ghost for a moment.
I can't believe that's where your mind...
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
No, I muted my mic.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I was totally being a ghost to let you guys know this is Brood War talking. We miss you.
Oh, I see.
Back in StarCraft 2. I'm so sorry.
No worries. That's exciting. I haven't looked into this as far as like pricing and whatnot goes. And we know they're gonna have an English stream, but is there a free stream? Is there a pay for stream? Do we even know any of this yet?
No, it doesn't appear to.
Yeah,
I don't see any of that information released yet, so I would just say not.
Not sure.
Nor am I. Probably a paid stream, though. Or, pay and you get to watch whatever. Or they may do a free stream and do like what Gom was doing for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope there's definitely VODs, because obviously it's once again happening overseas. There's going to be a massive time difference, so I will gladly pay for access to VODs so that I can keep a somewhat normal sleep schedule, because I definitely don't need that also. I have Diablo screwing with my sleep schedule. I don't need a new Korean tournament to mess it up even worse. I mean, I do need it. I would like to watch it on my own terms. So I'll give you money. Just give me an option.
Oh. One of our admins from GOC, Little Atar, she's in the stream chat right now. She said, there's an English stream, I think. People were saying Torch and Moletrap might cast. That's what I heard them talking about on State of the Game. They made it seem like they'd be casting it. So maybe I'll talk to Moletrap and find out. Yeah,
they were. That was, I think, 2 or 3 episodes ago on State of the Game. They were saying that'd be a pretty smart pick, because he's also casted Brood War, and since it's a dual stream, or it's a dual tournament, they've got both Brood War and StarCraft 2, that'd be it makes sense. The guy knows both games, and he is an English caster. So, and he's already working for him doing League of Legends, so.
Well, I'm sure it'll be great no matter what.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, and then of course this weekend, the big thing for us North Americans, we got the MLG Spring Arena 2. Kyle, I just I entered the code for the account that you and I don't share.
Yes.
So we're all ready.
No such thing as account sharing. Never happens.
Ever.
Not even among the employees. Never happens.
Not even amongst organizations or 2 professionals.
No, never happens.
Right.
Well, this is going to be exciting to see, my boy Dongrigu, who's been, scraping the bottom of the Code A barrel, doing well down there, but sadly not in the Code S. Good to see him playing up top. I'm excited to see this.
You're just happy because Marine King Prime can't make it, so there's no chance of him knocking DRG out.
Yeah, his arch enemy isn't going to show up and school him. That's interesting. I mean, what's up with Marine King Prime that he's not making to this?
You know what? The only comment I have to all of this is nuclear launch detected. You guys are talking about his opponent coming or not coming and who's going to show up. No matter which one of them shows up, it's going to be an interesting show, and I'm sure people are going to wish they hadn't shown up.
Yeah. So anyway, MC is taking Marine King's place, so we're going to get to see MC in this, which I know is always a fan favorite. And it seems like there's going to be a lot more players. There's 32 in total, so this should be an interesting weekend. So Lori, who are you rooting for? We already know Kyle's rooting for DRG.
Good question. Let me look here. I don't know. So hard.
Yeah, I'm looking at the roster now.
This is really hard. Yeah.
I would say probably I'm with Kyle on DRG, and I would love to see Thorazane do really well, because I'm a big Thorazane fan.
Well, not to mention after his big switch to EG, to be able to pull a win under his belt.
Oh, that'd be great.
Great for the team.
That'd be really good for them.
You know what? I'm just going to say I'm going to be excited to see any matches from all of them.
Yes. Yeah, this will definitely be...
I don't think I can pick one.
Yeah, as I was telling Octane before the show, I will watch this. I'll be playing Diablo while I'm watching it, but I will watch this.
Well, I'm really excited about the top 4 here, because Hart and Gonzi are some really great Terrans that are still yet to get that big win under their belt, and I'm really excited to see them. If they do well, great. I mean, I'm definitely cheering for Gonzi now, because seems like a great guy. I love his play style, even though it would royally piss me off if I played against him.
Well, if that was the case, I think you'd hate everyone, because I'm pretty sure they would all...
No, some guys are like, I have made the perfect build. I will move out at the perfect time. And for those, you just got to go, what the heck, and roll over and dead. But when they actually bite you to pieces with drops and stuff, that's when you get a little upset. Octane Pro knows what I'm talking about.
Yes, he does. So, as we're talking about MLG, they also had yet another big announcement, because they just love announcements. Apparently, they've got a partnership between KeSPA now, and this was kind of big news. So basically, KeSPA players will be competing at MLG events. They said that this is obviously the first time in esports history that KeSPA players will participate in tournaments in the U.S. So that's awesome. So they weren't joking when they said, if you don't think you can afford Anaheim, find a way and go because it's going to be amazing. And now I really wish I was.
Well, this is the perfect kind of tournament for all these players. It's one of the few tournaments that doesn't have all the invites just cut out. There's the whole open pool. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? Like, not only will you be maybe only into StarCraft 2, you go into the open pool. It was your first big time. Mom paid for you to go. It's going to be great. And you go up against some guy, you've never heard his name, but just wipes the floor with you. Huh. You go home and realize that he's been a champion since before you were born.
Who's this Flash guy? Huh.
Well, that'd be a rather extreme case.
Yes. Well, that's like, the first MLG you and I attended at Orlando. We ran into a couple fans of the show. We're like, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, good, I'm in the open pool. How'd that go? Oh, I got matched up against White Raw first round. Oh. Sorry. He's like, no, it was awesome. Got my butt kicked by my hero. So, and that's always the cool stories we hear out of MLG. Lori, will you be, are you attending MLG?
I would like to, but I've actually never been to a LAN yet.
Oh, really? You haven't been to... Wow, okay.
No. Bit of a shocker there, but no, I have not. Everything I've done for the StarCraft community has been online as much as I can, because I love the community. Yeah. I've actually been asked, out of all the communities you're involved in, which one do you love the most? I'm not sure I can choose one game community over the other. I love each one for its own unique community, because each one has its own groups, its own organizations, different expectations from them. But one thing I enjoy is just how wonderful gamers are. And if I could go, I would, but Anaheim is in June, early June, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We have, that's right around, actually, this is the ironic thing. Girls of StarCraft, when we created it, is also my brother's birthday. So that's okay. June 5th. And it's right around there. So I would have to try and leave before then to get out there and get situated, that sort of thing. And it's just not possible. I'm not going to do that on my brother's birthday.
Oh, it's June 9th is when the Spring Championship is. But, yeah.
I haven't been back to California since I moved.
Oh, did you used to live in California?
Southern California, Los Angeles County.
Oh, really? So did I. I used to live in Sherman Oaks.
I used to live in Palmdale, Lancaster area.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. Did you leave because it was too expensive as well?
Actually, what ended up happening was my parents always talked about retiring to Colorado. Okay. And the crime rate was getting really, really bad. My high school was actually right next to a cemetery, and it was constantly getting hit by cars. So they were constantly rebuilding that wall right there. It was awkward.
Yeah, that's a really awkward
to die there?
Actually, one kid ended up crossing the road and got hit by a truck and broke his leg. And I saw it. It was bad. Oh. Not the case. But we ended up moving because, we needed to move. Prices were getting bad. Crime rate was getting bad. There was just so much we just could get out of Colorado versus being in California. Going to Colorado, where I live now, it was kind of a culture shock. I live in a town with maybe 7,600 people.
Sounds nice.
Small. And it's okay. It's awkward not having stores open 24/7 and your biggest store only being a Walmart, unless you want to drive over an hour away. So
now you mentioned earlier that that all the different communities have their different aspects and traits. What do you think some of the traits of the StarCraft community are that makes you enjoy it so much?
Some of the traits of the StarCraft community is you guys know the player Look No Hands, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've had him on the show. I think more than anyone else.
Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful guy. I absolutely enjoy speaking with him. He's just the nicest guy in the world. But one thing I love about the StarCraft community, kind of over any other community, is any other community might be rude to him or pity him or whatever else. But the StarCraft community, instead of doing that, they're like, hey, let us help you. You need a new chair? We'll do what we can to help you. You need help doing this? Let us see what we can do for you. Teams have supported him, helped him do what he wanted to do. He's got special equipment so he can play. That's one thing I love. Not to mention, my first charity event I did, because I also have ran multiple events in many different games, but I did a charity event and actually multiple since now, but in StarCraft, and just seeing how giving the community is, how much they come together to make a positive difference and a change for the better, that's one thing I love about the StarCraft community. And yes, while there's a sexism, it could be worse. It could be like that in the fighting game communities, where it's really, really bad.
Oh, yeah, that
you
that
know
whole
exactly
drama
what I'm
again.
talking about. All right.
Yeah, we talked about that a while ago.
I love that about the StarCraft community. With some of the other communities, it's, oh, you're a girl, no wonder you've got all that stuff. And it's not even necessarily offensive. It's, yeah, being a female has its advantages in gaming. I'm not going to lie. And StarCraft has some of them, but StarCraft ends up trying to have more of an equal playing field for both genders, which the other games don't, or the other gaming communities don't all have, at least not yet. I'm sure they'll get there eventually, and I'm sure there will be a day when, you know, it'll be acceptable, sexism won't be nearly as bad as it is right now, where people are like, oh my god, it's a girl playing. Okay. But
it's so funny because guys are doing it to themselves at the same time. We're like, why is this a problem? But
I gotta admit, even as someone who runs a group with 418 girls, every time I meet a new girl player, I'm like, oh my god, you're a girl player too? Awesome. I play the game too. This is my name. Are you part of our group? If not, you should come join us. We're awesome. Even yeah. I still get kind of surprised at it because it's just kind of amazing. Because I remember in Brood War when there were, I thought of maybe 10 girls who played the game, literally. Max, 10. One of those being Toss Girl. So one of those also being me. And it's like coming into StarCraft 2, building this group, and even listing all of these girls there, it's amazing to remind yourself you're not alone. To remember, hey, look, I got a sister over there and another one over there. Sister from another mother. That's what they are.
Sweet. Yeah, I get excited every time I meet someone who plays too, but that's just where I live. I don't even meet any guys that play StarCraft. I never run to anyone in the, I call it in the wild, that are avid players.
You and I are in the same boat. Out here, it's FPS. Wow.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, actually, there's a huge tabletop scene where I live that I could not be any less interested in. Kyle, you would go nuts out here.
But what was it? D?
What's that?
What was it? D&D?
No, it's like a lot of different things. But the local comic shop, which is massive because it's for Warhammer. They've got all these Warhammer boards set up.
Let's bring up comic shop. Our town is so small. Ours is going out of business. They're actually closing it down.
Well, we used to have like 5, and there's only 1 left now.
We've only got 1. It sells comics, cards, and videos, and DVDs, obviously. Yeah. But now if you want gaming cards and such, you either order them online or go to Walmart.
Well, and that's like the respectable thing you're supposed to do, but you can't argue with random packs of, you know, Magic the Gathering cards or whatever. It's too exciting.
Actually, if I want Magic the Gathering, I'll go to the GameStop. I'm not going to Walmart for that. Especially since I'm staring at 3 of my Magic the Gathering decks right there.
Nice.
Oh boy,
and
you just hit Kyle's sweet spot.
I heard you threw a little Dungeons & Dragons. Do you play that as well?
I have played a game very similar to it.
Okay.
Very similar. So, yes, for all intents and purposes, yes. And I have played it, but it's been so long, you know?
Nice. Just makes me happy to hear. I actually don't play, I refuse to Dungeon Master a game without a girl player, because otherwise I don't want to pretend to be, well, whatever sex that character may be interested, but male characters like to go into taverns and have sex a lot. And as long as there's a female player there, that doesn't happen as often.
I see. Okay, then. Well, then.
You play with interesting people, Kyle.
I just don't want to spend my whole night pretending to be a barmaid.
And And here I would have imagined that when they go into a tavern, it's either to go ahead and rest for the evening for their next journey on the day, have somebody always sitting up at watch, go get a couple of drinks and then do that, or somebody pissed you off and it's now time for a fight.
Yeah. No, that's taverns in my group. All diplomacy and endurance checks.
All right, then.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks for that, Kyle. People wonder why we get off topic. It's because we play a lot of games.
These games?
Yeah, exactly. So we got some emails before we take. We'll take a question from the chat room in just a moment. We got an email here from B-Dub. He wrote in. He said, "I've been thinking about this question for a long time, and I'm curious to know what your answer is. Let's be honest. There are maybe 3 or 4 foreign players that could really stand a chance against the many Korean players." And he says it's Stefano, Huck, Thorazane, and maybe Naniwa. Maybe Naniwa. Naniwa damn near made it to the GSL finals. I don't think
I'm a
he
little
should be
surprised.
after maybe.
I'm sorry. I think there's one person being forgone there.
Oh.
Scarlet.
That's another. Yeah, she took out how many Koreans at IPL?
She's doing amazing.
Yeah,
but she left her team recently. That was kind of shocking.
Yeah, I've heard some rumors about that. Not that I'm going to talk about them, but I've heard my fair share of what happened. But she's a very interesting gal. She's got talent, and I think she could do it. I think we could see her as the first, possibly the first female in Code A if Aphrodite doesn't make it there first.
Yeah.
That'd be exciting to see.
Anyway, B-Dub continues. He says, with the addition of all the soon-to-be ex-Brood War players, been a hot topic on this episode so far, the Korean scene is going to take off and leave us foreigners behind. Do you think that it's just a matter of time before the Koreans stop attending foreign events simply because they won't see the point in traveling halfway across the world just to play another Korean? Are the foreign events simply a cash flow for the Koreans, meaning they will only attempt simply because it is an easier way for them to make a lot of money and the Korean scene just doesn't have the same prize pool as the foreign scene?
I would agree with that, but not only is there money to be won in other places outside of Korea, but there's also tons and tons of hungry fans to be won, and I think that's the more important thing.
Yeah, I think to even present the thought that they wouldn't travel to other tournaments is just absurd, because StarCraft 2 is almost two years old now, and in those 2 years we have made it an insanely global sport.
Yeah. And we need more global sports.
And we've already... Go ahead.
My opinion is that the foreigners, or not foreigners, but the Koreans will continue to participate in foreign events. They're so used to the Korean style, it'll be a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
Despite what the prizes are. I think they'll actually help increase the amount of foreign events going on and the popularity of them.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll stop.
I agree entirely, and I'm going to bet money on the fact that he set this in before the KeSPA MLG announcement, because that pretty much debunks any thought of that ever happening anytime soon.
That's true. Well, and that was one of the issues that was coming up, certainly. And if KeSPA's throwing its money, or its support MLG's way, DreamHack, we have some other, lesser, well, at least for us Americans, we think lesser tournaments, but certainly huge in Europe. But now they're not getting that KeSPA support, so now we have other places where things might...
There's still time, I would say, though, on
yeah.
that. And we're going to... and who's to say that they still don't make it open to where the players can still go to those tournaments, just not have some kind of formal partnership with the tournament?
Sure. There's so much to be played out here. The game is so young, it's hard to keep that in mind.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. That's my thought on that, B-Dub. Hope you enjoyed it.
We also received an email from Rolf, like the Muppet. He was made sure it was like the Muppet, so I pronounced it correctly. But he wants to point everyone towards a real interesting article written by Jack Attack. Yes, Jack Attack. Jack Attack Rightly. This is basically a thread that's gained a lot of steam, or some background steam on Team Liquid, going over some hotkey for sort of maxing out your hotkey strategies. Divides it up by each race, says he's working on it. It's going to be changing in the future, so don't go inserting this into your game right now. But this is a way to maximize your hotkeys outside of additional programs, which are illegal in tournaments. So take a look at that if you're into that sort of thing.
Which, by the way, I tried to read this and I went cross-eyed.
Yeah, it's a little complicated. The best thing you could do is accept it, give it a try. Actually, some of his ideas are pretty sweet.
Cool. Anyways, we'll take some questions from the chat room now. If you have any questions for Tesla or for Kyle and I, although I doubt we're really that interesting.
You know what? For what it counts, I think you two are interesting.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed being on the show with you guys today. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been nice having you. You definitely jive with our tendency to get off topic about other games. So it's kind of it's nice to have a well-rounded gamer on. Which isn't to say last week when we had Scoots on that it wasn't awesome too. But like it's nice to have this ebb and flow of like super hardcore StarCraft player and then kind of well-rounded gamer and then et cetera, et cetera.
Good thing we didn't go into League of Legends.
We didn't go into League of Legends because I have no idea how to play it.
Okay, I will give you a user guide I wrote later, and we'll give you a crash course.
Nice. Now is a terrible time, though, because I'm not going to be playing it for a while.
What is this now? After you defeat Diablo 3 and after some StarCraft 2 practice, of course, you know. Yeah. Somewhere in there when you decide you're bored out of your mind and you want to kill some time.
Gotcha.
Well, I've been trying to get this guy to play Dota 2 with me for the longest time, and I can't get him in there.
Well, we got all excited when we could finally start playing 2s again, dude, because it had been like 3 months since you and I had done some team games.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, questions are finally starting to come in as now the lag has caught up with the stream. Captain Noobling asks, Tesla, what league are you in?
I'm in the Pikachu League. I don't like to admit what league I'm in.
The Pikachu League. I was going to say, is that gold because he's yellow?
No, it's a league of my own. Okay. I don't like to admit my league simply because you can have the knowledge, but being able to execute that knowledge is a completely different story. You can know everything there is about the game, but being able to pull it off properly is something that takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. Yeah. And I just focus on so much that I don't have that sort of time to go ahead and practice my execution day in and day out.
Well, at least they're asking it here in the chat room rather than in a game, because that's just darn rude.
I hate that. It's so annoying. What league?
Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to
I'm in the shut the hell up and play league,
seriously.
sir.
I'm in the league of this is my game, and let's kick some butt.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. Except I'll usually tell people, I'm going to say as a forever gold player, I completely agree with I know how the game works. I'm just not fast enough. Octane Pro asks, what race is your best and worst matchup? Since you don't want to talk about League.
Ooh. All right. Right now, I would say ZBT is my best. I'm getting really good at ZBT. I actually have beat my low masters friend or diamond ranked friend. I think he dropped one of the two. But I beat him like a couple of times just in ZBT practice. Besides that, my worst one right now, I would say I either struggle in ZVZ because I don't like the different choices and I overthink it, or ZVP because the units are just so much more tanky than Zerglings, or the Zerg units, I should say, not Zerglings, but Zerg units.
Yeah.
So it's a toss-up.
All right.
Are you looking forward to Heart of the Swarm and any units in particular?
I'm looking forward to it to see how it will change gameplay. But as to looking forward to any units in particular, not really. I'm sure it'll be interesting, and I'm kind of keeping myself in anticipation, not trying to get too excited about it, because, well, we all know the Blizzard trademark soon. So when it's soon, we'll know then.
Yeah.
And when it comes out, just like everyone else, I'll learn it at that time. I want to. I'm excited for it to see how it'll change the builds and everything else. But I'm not looking to a particular unit at this moment, but I do want to know the Zerg storyline. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah, I was about to say, I at times feel like I'm the only one who's really excited for the campaign.
Oh, dude, that's the only collectors. I mean, whatever comes in that, I put some spoilers and spinners on my Ultra list, please.
So you want to... Okay, like I've got the fancy Thor. You want a fancy Ultra for the collector's
That's all
edition?
I'm hoping for. I'm hoping they put something, just like some extra spikes. I'll take anything. Just bedazzle my Ultra. And I've been getting the same sort of excited about Prometheus. God, I've been avoiding all the trailers.
Oh, the movie. Yeah, dude, I can't wait
I went to the movie theaters recently and saw Dark Shadows. They had a trailer before it. I got up and left.
Are you serious?
All I've heard is that the trailers are getting spoilerific.
See, I went the complete opposite.
You're seeing everything.
Every time a new trailer comes out, man, I'm like, I must see it, and I'm going to watch it frame by frame to try and catch the alien or something. Like,
that's how I've been treating Last Airbender, or Legend of Korra.
Legend of Korra, okay.
I watched Nickelodeon for the first time in 60 years. Saturday. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm catching it Saturday mornings. It's ridiculous.
Nice. I still haven't seen the original series, but...
Do it. Get into it.
I will when I feel like watching TV again. Right now, Game of Thrones...
you like anime too? Yes!
Kyle, I think you have a new online friend.
These are the best kind of conversations where you get to the... yeah.
Do we just become best friends? Do you want to do karate in the garage?
I think we did. See, my love for anime means I was the anime club president in high school.
Oh, snap.
Uh-oh.
Oh, snap.
Out of curiosity, what's your favorite anime?
Ooh, that's hard, because I have a few. First off, my favorite one when I was a little girl. While I like Pokemon, it wasn't my favorite. It was Sailor Moon. Up until my dad said she's lesbian, and I didn't believe him. It turns out in the Japanese version, she is. They hint to it.
Then poor Tuxedo Mask.
Actually, here's a little interesting note for you. In the Japanese version, Tuxedo Mask never throws a rose.
That's like his trademark.
No, that's the American or the English trademark. That's not the Japanese. Actually, it may be in the manga that it was. That it wasn't in there for the Japanese. But it was not originally his trademark.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Kyle, have I ever asked you what your favorite anime is? And if you say Yu-Gi-Oh, I will hurt you the next time I see you.
Dude, I have a soft spot in my Yu-Gi-Oh Season 1, man.
What about Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex?
I am a big Ghost in the Shell fan.
I
would argue I like the feature-length film way more than the series.
That was interesting.
Evangelion, just the battles for it, but certainly not the story.
My two favorites are Evangelion and Fooly Cooly. I could watch Fooly Cooly every day and be okay with it.
I didn't like that one.
Oh, really? Yeah, I can't get my girlfriend into it either. She's not really big into anime in the first place. But
I love anime, but
I
that
thought
one's
she would get into Fooly Cooly. Yeah.
It's pretty wacky.
But a cute one, if you want to get her into anime, have her watch Full Moon wo Sagashite.
Okay.
It's about a little girl who wants to become a singer.
Or Card Captors.
Card Capture Sakura is also a good one. And that goes into Tsubasa Chronicles later on.
Okay. All right. I got her in that she totally dug Death Note. That was the first one where she's like, I must watch all of this in a weekend. So that was good.
Hey, you can always have fun and say, since you love it so much, cosplay, go.
Yeah. We have more questions. E. Narwhal in the chat room asks, hi, Lori. I only just joined Girls of StarCraft 2 weeks ago. What kind of plans do you have for this group, and how can I help? Oh, someone missed I think one of the first questions we had. But
that was one of them. Okay, so what kind of plans we have is just to become more involved with the community. If you'd like to help out more with Girls of StarCraft, feel free to contact me on Facebook since you're in the group. My name is Lori Slaughter. You should be able to find me there through the Facebook group, and you can send me a private message or talk to Little Atari. She's one of our admins. She'll be happy to assist you.
Cool. Little Atari's in the chat room right now, actually, too.
Yes, she is.
And, I mean, that's a good question. What can the people of OGSC Or, oh my goodness. I was looking at the news earlier.
Did you choose name emoji?
I did say OGSC
GG.
because I was looking at the screen and I saw we never covered that news, but OGS broke up. Anyway, the GOSC. What can they do to help out from, being new members?
Okay. Well, at that point, we encourage them to play the game and to tell others about the game. To tell them about StarCraft, to tell them about the group, to kind of just spread the word and be a good member in the community, in the group. If you want to post news about stuff that's going on, if you heard something interesting and want to keep us all up to date, by all means, post it on the Facebook group. We're all there for that. We also have a Skype chat, so you can sit there and encourage others to come play. You can host your own in-house tournament or girls-only tournament. It might as well be an in-house tournament at that point. And encourage everybody to go play. Doing the tournaments, that's something you can do on your own. And if you'd like us to say it's an official GOSC event, after seeing how one or two go, we'll be happy to go from there. Also, I have a guy who wants to help out if he can. Be like a male guy who knows Tesla. That's awesome. Well, he can contact me at girlsofstarcraft@gmail.com.
I like that she used the word male infiltrator specifically. I want to join now if that's like the badge I get. Like Garrett, like the male infiltrator.
Yes! Like the cuttlefish.
Well, you know what? You guys can be the quote-unquote male infiltrators or the Friends of Girls of StarCraft, and those are your titles.
Sweet.
Can't join the group, but you guys can say you are the male infiltrators of Girls of StarCraft.
I like it. Cool. We're making shirts, Garrett.
All right.
All right. Well, that's great. Well, man, I think that's a show. I think we're at the end of questions anyway, so might as well wrap it up here. Tesla, before we end the show, where can people find you, and is there anything you'd like to promote or draw attention to here at the end of the show?
Okay. First off, you guys can find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is DJ Tesla, because I do the online radio hosting. My Facebook fan page is facebook.com/Tesla Chew, like Pikachu, but it's Tesla and then Chew at the end.
Adorable.
I would definitely encourage you guys to go support Girls of StarCraft, support these lovely gentlemen here. They are absolutely wonderful to work with. It's my first time actually getting to talk with them and work with them, but it has definitely been more than a pleasure.
Well, thank you for that.
Agreed.
And you know what? Keep supporting esports. That's what I have to say.
There's one thing to take away from every episode of this show. That is the message. All right. Well, awesome. Big thanks to Ignite83 from the North American iTunes Store for giving us a 5-star review, helping us move up the ranks. It's always nice. TheStarCast.com, because StarCast.com is taken and they will not sell, is the place to go for our forums, archives, shirts, and more. You can catch us live Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's right. We have changed. You no longer have to choose Live on 3 or StarCast. You can just choose StarCast. It's a twitch.tv/StarCast show. If you're one of our audio-only listeners, make sure you can go check out the live show sometime. It's a lot of fun. As you can see, we bounce back and forth with the chat room. We ban some jerks. We take questions from the not jerks, and it's a good time. You can email the show at starcastshow@gmail.com, or you can call the StarCast line at 941-882-0281. You can follow us on Twitter at the StarCast. You can follow my personal account at Garrett Art. You can follow Kyle at Kyle Ferguson. And big thanks to our producer, Octane Pro, and the editor of our audio version, Captain Noobing. They really help make the show insanely easier to do for Kyle and I. We really appreciate it. Check out Team CVO's YouTube channel, youtube.com. Yeah, youtube.com. I can't talk today. /Team CVO. That's our competitive clan. Some great guys in there, so go check that out. And if you want more Kyle and I, because for whatever reason you're not annoyed by us yet, you can check out This Week in Blizz if you want to hear more about Diablo, World of Warcraft, or even more StarCraft. If this show and every other show on the internet is not enough for you, we talk about it there too. Even more. It's ridiculous.
Mostly Diablo, though, right now.
Mostly Diablo, yes, especially this week. Well, we're going to have Scott Johnson on this week from the Frog Pants Studios. So he'll be joining us to talk about. Yeah, he's always a good guy to talk to. So, Kyle, when you're not doing either of those shows, where can people find you?
You can find me over at Biggest Fan Podcast, where we're following the path that's driving you mad. And this week, I was driven mad by board games, such as Monopoly, those sorts of things. But next week, oddly enough, I'm being driven mad by hummus. We're doing hummus.
You're doing a whole episode about hummus.
A whole episode of hummus. It was a strangely voted and requested episode, so we thought, why not?
All right. Have you not had hummus before?
I have had hummus.
Okay, I was about to say I love hummus. What's there not to be a fan of?
I don't know, but hummus week. Hey, we went off on Monopoly for a good 40 minutes this past week. We can go off on hummus for an hour and a half. I'm excited for it.
Whole week to cover board games, man. That's almost enough time for one game of Monopoly.
Well, you should look forward to Surprise-O Week, Rocket's been calling it, where basically the two of us are going to show up with a topic for the other and just go there. No preparation, just doing whatever we give each other.
Sweet. Well, that's awesome, man. Go check that out, and don't forget to check out our sponsors, DoghouseSystems.com. They make amazing gaming computers. That's what I use. That's what my girlfriend Katie uses. They're really great rigs, best computers we've ever had, and they support our Here show. So go support them, and if you decide to go get one of their computers, use the code StarCast or Biscuit. You get double memory on your next rig. Once again, that's DoghouseSystems.com. We thank them for their support. Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping by for episode 103. Tesla, one more time, thank you so much for coming on, and we will see you all in a week's time.
Thank you for having me on.